All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mr. Ian Teaches English. Today we have a live lesson, and today's live lesson is going to be about gerunds and infinitives. Now this is important because in English, to use these correctly is difficult because of what they look like. So let's talk about what they look like first. You'll see the problem, and then we'll talk about how to use them. Now, gerund. What does a gerund look like in English?
ing.
Yeah, it's a base verb plus ing. So an example is what? What's an example of base verb and ing? Speaking. Okay,
Talking.
give me another one.
Talking.
Playing.
Singing.
Singing.
Swimming.
Watching.
Swimming.
No, that's enough. Okay. Now, here's where the problem comes in. What do these look like? With an ing. What are they usually? Words that end in ing are usually what?
To be.
The present continuous. They're usually verbs. And that's why this is difficult, because gerunds are not verbs. But they look like verbs. They do, but they're not. Let's look at infinitives. What is an infinitive?
Two plus.
Two plus
base verb.
the base verb. All right? So for example, what's the infinitive of speak? To speak.
To talk.
What is the infinitive of talk?
To talk.
To talk. Play?
Play.
To play.
To sing.
Sing?
To sing.
All right.
To watch.
All right. Now let's talk about your pronunciation, because all of you sound like English learners and not English speakers. So this word "to" here, we're not going to say "to." We're going to say "ta."
Talk.
All right. So try again. This is to speak. This is to talk. This is to play. Not to. To sing. To watch. Okay? Now, the problem with these is these look like verbs and these look like verbs.
Yeah.
But they're not verbs. They are
No.
nouns. All right? And this is, if you can learn that these are nouns, then sentences will make a lot more sense because you can identify that we're not talking about an action. We're talking about an activity, the name of something. So for example, let me give you a sentence. I like playing soccer. Now, in this sentence, is anybody playing soccer? In this sentence?
Me.
No.
What is the question?
In this sentence, who is playing soccer? Is anyone playing soccer in this sentence?
No, but
Nobody's playing soccer. What are we talking about?
About the game.
No.
what we like.
Your feelings. We're talking about your feelings. I like. So here we're describing feelings. We're not describing the action. Nobody in this sentence is playing soccer. Nobody. What about this? Playing soccer is good exercise. In this sentence, is anybody playing soccer?
No.
No. What are we talking about?
I think. Thing.
We're talking about the activity. We're talking about the thing. We're talking about the noun, and we're describing it, saying that it's good exercise. But if you're not careful, you look at that, man, that looks like a verb. but it's not. We're talking about the activity, not the action. So we use gerunds and infinitives like this, but most of the time we use gerunds as the names of activities. So let's pretend we go to the beach. What are some activities you can do at the beach?
Swimming.
Swimming.
Like volleyball.
Not play volleyball.
Playing.
Playing volleyball. That's the name of it. Now, if you create a sentence and play is the verb, we say play volleyball. I play volleyball with my sister. I play volleyball with my friends. But that's the action, not the activity, not the name. Give me some more. What can you do at the beach? Not build.
Enjoying. Enjoying.
Building. All right. These are names of activities. Building a sandcastle. Playing. What did you say? Playing what?
Volleyball.
Volleyball. All right. Give me one more.
Enjoying.
Enjoying what?
Sound.
Surfing.
Enjoying surfing. All right. Enjoying surfing. So when you talk about names of activities, things you can do, we use these. We use the ing. We use them as gerunds. Now, it's very common in English that gerunds can be used as subjects or they can be used as objects. It's very common that they are both. It's okay if they are both. Infinitives, however, they're nouns, but it's pretty rare to use them as subjects. We almost always use them as objects. So for example here, instead of saying I like playing soccer, we can use the infinitive,
I like to play.
I like to play soccer. But here, is that a subject or an object? Subject. So it's not very natural to use an infinitive as a subject. You can, but it sounds really, really formal. So we don't like to do that. Questions?
Thank you.
All right. Let me tell you one more thing about gerunds and infinitives.
Excuse me. I can say implying soccer is good exercise. I can say to play soccer.
Grammatically,
Yes.
you can.
But it's formal.
It sounds very formal,
Oh, okay.
and I do not recommend it. Unless you're writing a letter to the Queen,
Yeah. Like me.
like you, yes. All right. Let me share one more thing about gerunds and infinitives that make it kind of the reason we learn these. Number one is, can you identify them? If you identify them, it's easier to understand how it's used in a sentence. But let me show you one more thing. All right, what's the problem here?
To go. Es like. Es of nice. She likes.
Like.
Oh.
I'm a professional. All right, she likes. Yes, you're right. She likes. What's wrong? She likes to go.
To go. Double.
Now, this is a common mistake that students make because in some languages you can put two verbs together, but you can't do that in English. You have one verb, and then what do you have? An infinitive or a gerund, an object, a noun, okay? So here, sometimes I have students, they'll write a sentence and say, my mom enjoys cooking. And they'll think that this is the verb. No, that's not the verb. What's the verb?
Enjoy.
Enjoy. What does she enjoy?
To cooking.
Cooking. Now don't be greedy. You can have a gerund with the ing or an infinitive with the to, not both. Never both. All right? I need to leave now. What's your verb? Need. Now be careful because many students say the verb is need to leave, but that's not true. The verb is need. What do you need? To leave. You need to leave. Just like you might say, I need help, I need food, I need medicine. Those are nouns. In the same way, this is a noun. I need to leave. Maybe. All right. Now, the final thing before we go is in English, when you have that verb, some verbs are followed by infinitives and some verbs are followed by gerunds. So for example, my mom enjoys, somebody said to cook. But you can't say that because after the verb enjoy, you must use a gerund. You can't use an infinitive. So that's not possible. But yeah, I understand you, but it sounds weird. Need is the opposite. After need, you can only use an infinitive. You cannot say, I need leaving. You can't do that. Because after the word enjoy, we use gerunds. After the word need, we use infinitives. Now, some of them are easy. There's a small number of verbs that are easy. Like, you can use both. You can say, I like to go, or I like going. And that's something that just takes practice and experience. As you're listening to English speakers, you'll hear them choose gerunds or choose infinitives. So even though the word like is similar to the word enjoy, if you choose the word like, you could use both. I like to watch TV. I like watching TV. But if you choose enjoy, you cannot use an infinitive. You can only use a gerund. But that takes practice. Questions? Now there's a lot more to learn about gerunds and infinitives, and there's a lot more practice to become really good at it. But this is a good beginning, and it's time to go. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
See you next time.